Hi everybody. I think my camera's done having a seizure. Potentially. I feel like I'm just working on borrowed time with this thing. Hi. Happy Monday. Ponce, what's up? Alase, hello. Tex, Sharky, what's up guys? Timuzu. Nothingness. Hi everybody. How are we doing? Jesus Christ, there's a lot of you in here. Michael Stryker. Gautham. Hello, everybody. Let me go live on Instagram real quick. Oh, how's everybody doing? Happy Monday. Oh, there it is. My camera season again. All right, so if my camera freezes or locks up entirely, I guess just let me know and I'll just kill the camera portion of my stream. I hope I don't have to, but looks like I'm going to be setting something new up, unfortunately. But hello, everybody. Here's hoping. Here's hoping, for sure. Yeah. So, back today. I'm going to be working on this thing again. Got it pretty well blocked out last week. Basically. Very, very basically. But, yeah, so we got some stuff to do. Especially because I don't know where these came from. Where are you? Why are you there? Go away. Nobody asked for you. Okay. And I'll be back. Well, okay. We'll see you in a minute. What's up, Roy? How you doing, man? Okay, so I want... Oh, look at that. Maya did something stupid. Big freaking surprise. Polygon modeling. Let's merge that. Merge that. That should fix that. Kind of does. What is happening here? Oh, alright. Sweet. That's cool. Alright. That should hopefully... Yeah, that solves that issue. And then you... Why are you like that? Oh, okay. Sweet. Alright. So yeah, I'm going to work on this again. But I'm ready to be back at this. Hello, Gotham. How are you doing? Good, overheated, but good. Are you guys dealing with extreme heat as well? We thankfully got cooled off today because of the rain, so that was really nice. It was like super needed. Was that opening from Halo? You mean my starting soon screen? No, actually, my starting soon screen is this. So all I did for that was I took the background from this project. So this is that same hangar, just a different view. Also, my job doesn't have AC in the shop. That's trash. They need to have that. That's insane. That's wild that you guys don't, being that you're mechanics. Oh, hi. None of that is merged together. Okay. I guess I don't really remember what I did last week on this. Alright. So I want to start kind of properly shaping the body here. And in order to do that, it's got to be thickened up a little bit. But I'm also going to start rotating stuff to match up there. Okay, let's see. I'll make sure I didn't miss anything on Instagram. I don't think I did. No, we're good. Camera hasn't frozen up, so that's also good. Cool, reminded me of a Halo image. Nice. Well, I mean, that's cool. I didn't even try to replicate Halo in that, but I could see it. I could see it. What's up, TJ Might? How are you? I'm doing good. We just get big fans. Like the big-ass fans? Like the big ol' ones? Those are good, but they just blow hot air. Okay, so let's look more at this. Oh, I remember why I separated that a little bit now. Okay, so the question is do I want to do that now? Or do I want to start that now? I don't think so. I think I'm going to leave that as a minor detail for now. Thinking what to do now. What do you mean? What you got? You got any projects you're working on? Oh, I love your work. It's crazy good. Thank you so much, Onyx. I appreciate that. It's getting there. It's for sure getting there. How are you doing? This thing definitely has kind of like a curved, like, swoops to the front kind of shape to it, so already liking what I'm doing more. Yeah, but though, wait, yes, but yeah, all it does is move harder. Yeah, it does. That's crappy. That sucks, dude. Is your guys' house staying cool? How are the birds? How be the parrots? Alright. So this is gonna be interesting. I think I'm gonna test this. I'm gonna pinch that. Same thing over here. Just trying to kind of shape the way this is supposed to fit. Let's see. Thinking if I should sketch or Blender animation project, adding physics and FX to learn something new real quick. Hey, that's always a good choice. I love playing with like FX stuff. Spoiled, got a new stroller coming to build so I can take more walks. Nice, that's cool. You gonna live stream any of them? You should. I think that'd be a lot of fun to watch. Trying to make sure I don't get this all like wonky shaped right off the bat. Yeah, I will. Nice. That'll be cool, man. That'll be super cool. Fine. You want me to save? I'll save. Let's just do this. Interceptor underscore V002 01, and we'll just keep going from there. Save as. Beautiful. I am a Blender artist and I want to learn C4D. Give me some tips. I don't know C4D at all. I know it's pretty good at what it does, but I know it's also more for like motion graphics stuff. Yeah, unfortunately I don't really know C4D all that much. I got beaten by it a lot when I competed back in the day. That was when I used 3ds Max though. What about light blockers, sir? Is it helpful for final renders and presentation? Yeah, actually. So if you want to see kind of how I use those, give me a second here. Let's see. Let me pull up these grapes that I'm so very proud of, and I can kind of show you. So it's a little hard to tell because it's kind of light, but if you look at some of these grapes, there are kind of curvatures in the reflections up at the top of the grapes. You can kind of see the shadowing working its way through, but this actually has a light blocker on it. So some of the shadowing that you're getting around here, these spots and everything, are actually just leaves. So they're really good for adding a little bit of additional depth to a render. They're not going to be hyper noticeable unless you like really like crank the density on them. But yeah, so this one I used a light blocker on. My main light above it is a light blocker. And if you guys didn't catch it, the modeling video dropped today for these, and then hopefully Wednesday-ish I will be dropping the texturing video, and then the end of the week should be the rendering video. So keep an eye out for those. Those are good. I just want to say the VOD is due to music in at the fair I walked to. Oh, that's fair. FX and physics trial and error, but yeah, gonna lurk in the meantime. Sounds good, TJ Mike. Alright. So if I smooth that, how are we looking here? Oh, that's looking so much cleaner. Okay, cool. That feels so much better. I was like kind of panicking about that last week. Okay. So I want to look at... So this is an intake. Okay, so up here. And I am actually going to model the cockpit on this one. I decided that it was going to be a thing. I was debating it, but I think I'm going to do it. Usually I wouldn't go this far back with one of these, but this kind of like curves into the body, so I'm going to let it kind of go deeper. That way it's just a little bit harder to see when you're rotating around. Okay. Let's get some support on that guy. I actually want to do this too. I'm going to tweak this a tad bit. Pull that in. And then let's give this guy a little bit of support. Okay. That way I don't have to do that later. Alright, sweet. Okay, I'm back. Welcome back. But looking at a body cam to record for YouTube so I can edit later. Nice, that's cool. Have you started doing much with YouTube minus shorts? I am the Naboo interceptor. Yeah. What's up, Mr. Blazerman? How are you? Do you think it's good to do things with booleans, or should we achieve what we want with other tools? You can. Just get comfortable with fixing them. I think the biggest thing that I see people do with booleans is that they just boolean and leave it alone, and they don't fix the topology. That's when you start to run into problems. So always make sure you're fixing up your topology when you're doing those. I'm going to add this. It doesn't really... make a whole lot of sense right now, but it will eventually. Okay, so this is the part that I don't like here. I'm gonna try this. Okay. Not getting really any pinching or anything like that, but I do need to kind of like concave that surface a little bit. Okay. Let's build... I think I'm gonna build in the interior of the cockpit, just the, like, shell. Chilling on campus. The school's holding me up for 3K. Why? Not yet, but from my walks, I might be what I will do to add for videos. That's cool, man. I totally think you should. I think that is a unique piece of content to you that would be really awesome to see you explore. Let's just do a basic shell in here. Okay. I want that to be... yeah, okay. This is where I gotta be a little bit careful. Okay. Because they mandate health insurance and I didn't have any for the past year, so they forced me into theirs. I paid for it already. I didn't use... What? That's so weird. I've never heard of a school mandating that. That's insane. Like, here, pay us a bunch of money and you have to have insurance that we're going to charge you to provide. That's crazy. Okay. Okay, we got a little bit of a glitch going on there. What's happening here? These probably just need to be... Oh, that's what's happening. JK. Okay. This is not going to be perfectly center, but that's okay. I will fix that later when I cut this thing in half multiple times for no reason. Okay, there we go. That's better. Dude, I just love the shape of this thing. Okay. It's an incredibly stupid policy. Yeah, man, it sounds like it. Hey, man, how's it going? What's up, Zach? How you doing, man? Let's see. I'm looking at a lot of new bird things to add to YouTube. Do it, man. You need any help, you let me know. Oh no, you haven't heard of the best scheme though. They charge a fee to apply for graduation. You pay them $150 to simply apply to graduate? What? They don't know I'm down to go as far as this, but I need to. Already looking to see. Jeez, dude. That's crazy, man. Yeah, that school sounds like a big red flag. What's up, Oi? Or Oye? I'm sorry if I said that wrong. But how are you? Let's try to give myself a little bit of stuff to work with in here. I just don't want this to be like too... I want to be able to see kind of what I'm working with. Okay. So that creates that. So let's go ahead and we're going to do a little bit of premature cleanup here. I'm going to go ahead and select this edge. We're going to go turn on symmetry, topology, that guy. This is probably going to work kind of weirdly, but... So if you guys were ever curious, this is how you can kind of reduce your geometry a bit. Okay, that's going to turn into a kite. That should be doing the same thing on both sides. It is. And then I'm just honestly going to delete all of that. Control delete. And you can see now that pinch is gone. A little bit of one in here, but I can clean that up a little bit later. Let's see. Truly beyond doo-doo. Yeah, that's crazy. Do you ever use crease, or do you prefer to only work with support loops? I usually prefer to work with support loops because I hate juggling creases back and forth between like substance and rhizome and all that stuff. So for me, I just stick with what I know, and that's just generally what I do. Because like I don't need to worry about optimizing my edges. I do high poly work for a reason. So I just don't touch it much. Maybe a testament to Cryptic is absolutely correct in saying you don't need to go to school, it's expensive and they'll screw you over without buying you dinner. Yes. Yeah. I am good, man. Let's see. Thanks. Oh, about to help the girlfriend harvest veggies from our garden. Oh, nice. You guys have a garden? That's cool. I grew some really small carrots one year. I'd actually had a pretty decent garden. I think it was 2 years ago. I would like to get back into that, but I keep dedicating my time to other things. That's a fun hobby to have, though. What you guys gonna be picking? Okay. So I want to start figuring out how I'm gonna do some of these panels, and I think I'm gonna start with this front one here. This kind of like main side panel, because this will be the easiest one to kind of like rip out and then start working with. So it's going to be this guy. I think that goes right about mid-nose. Yeah, no, that's about right. And then it stops directly at that. So that's going to be fun. Alright, let's do this. Mesh tools, we're going to go extract this guy. Yeah. It's the only thing I really hate about symmetry. In fact, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just separate it. Detach. So now, if I move that, yep, there we go. That's what, oh, wait a minute. I left something behind. Yeah, cool. Okay. So this one I'm going to just delete because we don't really need it. Oh, symmetry. Right. Now I'll delete it. Okay. Cool. Honestly, wait a minute. Hold on. The body of this isn't wide enough. That's just not playing properly. Yeah, this isn't going to work yet. Hold on. Okay. Alright, cool. The entire ship honestly just needs to kind of like widen out a little bit. Just totally cool. It's going to kind of screw up my cockpit, but that's okay. Feels a little bit better. Well, I'm sorry you're dealing with that, Mr. Blazing Man. That sucks, man. That's never good to hear. I'm thinking how I can just like kind of pin this, and that's going to be turning this into a loop almost. Because I don't want the extra junk here. Okay. That's actually fine because I should be able to just take that, and just redirect this a tad bit. That does make a triangle right there, which I can technically turn into a quad if I really need to, but now... Okay. Let's see about this. I'm trying to think of how I can make this a little bit more efficient. Yeah. Cool. Okay. I think I've got the widthwise. I don't, you know, here, hold on. I'm gonna do something I don't normally do, and I'm gonna fire up Blender. Because the artist who made this was kind enough to provide me his Blender file. Just delete all this junk. Oh no, I deleted the default cube. Open, don't save. This one. So looking at this, oh god, I hate Blender's movements. No, I think I'm right on the money, width-wise. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. I think that's pretty close, yeah. Alright. This section needs to be corrected a bit though, so let's do that. Not the default cube, yep, it's gone. Gone forever. Banished to the Shadow Realm. Okay. Beautiful. How are we doing? Doing okay. I think... I can't tell... Oh, JK. Well, I can't tell if this is like hovering. God, I hate moving Blender. Okay, so there's a ledge here. Yeah. So that ledge kind of sits above that. I'm almost wondering if I should just extrude this portion of the body out. I might do that. Because technically... that should still loop around. Yeah. Minus that. We don't want that extruded. Don't need that extruded. Okay, and then this front piece we definitely don't need extruded. Okay. Glad to see another person has a habit of just deleting everything before you get your stuff showing. Wait, hold on. I'm just glad to see another person has that habit of, oh, just deleting everything. Yeah, well, I don't understand why it starts with it to begin with. Like, it doesn't make sense. Maya doesn't start with anything like that. Not to compare the two, because that would be sacrilege. But you know. Okay. Okay. A lot of that's gonna have to be worked in a little bit, but that's okay. I don't know either. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of the many things about Blender that I don't get. I kind of... I know it's not like... Hope I didn't just get ahead of myself. I probably did, knowing me, but that's okay. I'll pay for it in the long run. Okay. And then this is where it gets kind of weird because like this section kind of divots inwards. So yeah, I'm gonna just do that real quick. Okay. How's that looking? Looking okay. Looking decent. But yeah, if you guys couldn't tell, I'm not a Blender aficionado. I don't really understand why it does the things that it does. But, you know, if you do, good for you. Okay. Sweet. Also, I saw something today, I think it was. I wanted to try this. Material attributes. I wanted to preset this to something like brushed metal. Yeah, I really like that a lot better. I don't like the default model color. Okay. Well, increment and save. Okay. So this is gonna be kind of problematic, but that's all right. The big thing here now is gonna be separating this panel and shaping a lot of this, because like the shaping is horribly incorrect. All right. Okay. Would like to get a little bit more support in there. This is probably gonna screw me a little bit, but that's all right. Okay. What you guys got going on tonight? Anybody working on anything cool tonight? You guys all just relaxing? Okay. So that is entirely too long. This is what I was kind of worried about. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if this is gonna work. It might work. Nah. Surface slide. Nah. Okay, so we're gonna just backtrack that a lot. Probably have to, yeah, we're gonna have to scale it out widthwise too. Yeah, because this is too. It's better now. Distortion wise, not dealing with too much in there. Cool. I am resting now. I got some work done on the banner and got all the outlines done for each layer. Nice, very cool. Are you enjoying that project? All right. So this panel goes about midway. Okay. Now I'm going to focus on extracting this panel. Okay. So I'm going to go Mesh Tools. Edit Mesh. And just, what the hell was it? Extract. No, it wasn't extract. I need to stop trying to use that one. It's, why am I drawing a blank on what it was? Detach. Always get those two confused. I don't know why. You are your own little thing though now. And so are you. And that can go away. Separate. The hell is that polycer? I don't know what that is. Okay. Trying to, like, from the beginning keep this organized, but I don't know if I'm going to succeed in that. Okay, so here's our first panel. We know if we smooth this, it's relatively clean. So now, just got to seal it up. I am. It's probably the most detailed I've ever done. More of a cartoon style. Nice. I can't wait to see it. That'll be cool. That will be super cool. I'll delete that because we don't want that. We're not going to continue that shape in. Okay. I'm gonna try this. I don't know if this is gonna work though. Increment and save. Let's try a quad fill. Holy crap, it did. Alright, sweet. That saves a lot of time. Let's just clean it up though. I love that. That script is one of my favorite scripts. It saves me so much time. Okay. So 3. Alright, so here's where we'll start to get kind of the weird messiness. And I'm going to go ahead and add another loop in here because I'm going to start adding a little bit more curvature to this. Okay, that should be solid. Turn that off for a bit. Just kind of curve this out a tad. Then this is a problem. Don't want that. We want that surface as smooth as possible. This is why it helps having a reflective material like this, because it kind of shows you where your bumps are going to show up. So that's what we're trying to avoid now, is any weird surface distortions. And then as far as like keeping this thing kind of even and clean, no, I'll leave that one. That's pretty great, I think. So if I smooth that, you have this nice panel now, and we can start working that into the other side as well. So next is this little front panel, which is going to have 2 sub panels. So I'm going to do just the main paneling shapes today, and then I'll probably start breaking those down. I'm thinking. That's the hope anyway. I do also need to kind of... I want to see how the front of this is shaped, because... Yeah, see, he's got this nice, like, swoop. I don't really have that swoop, so let's fix that. Because I feel like I can go a little bit fatter on the bottom. This is actually where it starts to really kind of shape up a bit. Okay. Nice, 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 nice. Okay. So, same sort of scenario here. We're going to extract this panel. And this one should stop right there, which is fine. Okay. Edit mesh, we're going to detach and separate. Nice, look, you selected. Now we'll look at both of these. So this is how I like to kind of handle paneling. Is I will keep my like reference panel, and then I'm going to shape the new panel to match this as best as possible. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and seal this one. Need to reduce the timing on those messages. They fire pretty frequently. Okay, I think we're good. And then this side definitely still needs that too. Let's do this, Shift I. Nope. As always, guys, if you have questions or anything like that, please feel free to ask them. I do not mind answering them. And then if you guys are interested, if you want to join on my Patreon, you can get the grapes scene for free starting tomorrow. You just got to join at one of the paid tiers, but you get access to all my other free models too. So it's a pretty good deal. Okay, so let's fix that, because that's awful. And this is where we can start kind of building this in tune with the other panel. So Shift I. One. What's up, Zach? How you doing? Okay. All right. So now, just add a secondary there. We'll just support that. Cool. Should be all we need. Okay, and then smooth that one too. So now we have this really nice little panel gap. And they're two separate objects, so it's good stuff. Okay. What else do I want to do now? I think I'm gonna maybe work on this. I don't know. Let me see. I think it's time to actually just pull off the band-aid and delete half the model. Okay. Yeah, see, that's gonna be really clean together. So this portion, I do want it to be a separate chunk. This is what's cool about the blockout, right? Is I can now just take pieces off of this thing for as long as I need to, and really build out the objects themselves. So this is gonna be a little difficult, I think. Let's see. So I already have basically everything I need for this piece right now. Because that's cut off. Let's see, we're gonna detach and separate. Get rid of that. Okay, so here's this. Here's this, and real quick before I do this. Yep, that got left behind, so we can delete this. Cool. Alright. So let's start shaping this thing. This thing is actually also made up of multiple panels, but gotta start with the basics first. Always try to line this stuff up if I can. Okay. Cool. How are you doing tonight, Zach? What's up, Crix? How are you? Good to see you as well. Okay. And then this is where typically I'll just stop extruding and I'll just bridge. This needs to... I want this shape to come out a little bit better. Just so I don't have to stress too much about it. That should be okay. Alright, cool. I got cooked deep fried yesterday. What happened? Sunburn? That's never fun. Okay. So, let's see. The shape that I'm looking at is not the shape that I have currently, so I need to kind of shift and correct that. Yeah, no. Off. Okay. All right. What do we got? No, sunburn. It was 99 shift for commute. Heavy plus extra work. Oh man. They're asking us interns, not full-time employees, to make 3 to 4 hours per day modeling UV and texturing.
Wow.
It does sound like an internship. Like, I do hate to say that, but that does actually sound like an internship, and that'll kind of equate too to like your first year working in a studio. You kind of get the grunt work, unfortunately.
Put that cookie down now.
What's up, Sharky? How you doing, man? It definitely sucks to have to go through that, though. You're melting too? Oh, man. Everybody's melting. I feel spoiled with the rain that we got then. 87 degrees. Oof. Well, and you have computers in your room too, so it's like exponentially worse. That's why I drilled a hole through my wall into my garage, so I could vent all of my server heat out into the garage. Saved it. Saved me. This sucks. I will do an internship as long as I mentally and physically can, and we'll see another studio nearby. Yeah, and you know that might end up being the thing that you have to do, especially if you don't anticipate that the studio you're at currently is not going to treat you well. Obviously, take care of yourself first. But you're getting valuable experience. Like, that does, as much as it sucks, that does help. Okay. I'm just not liking that. I need it to be just slightly. I think the problem is, that's what the problem is. Hold on. That's the issue. It's the curvature of that not working. Connor, let's see. If it's not a paid internship, don't take it as my rule of thumb. If they ask for an art test, drop them right there. An unpaid art test, especially. Yeah, that's one of the big red flags, is like they're generally just trying to get free work out of you. Studio is good. The commute and extra work sucks. Yeah, exactly, too. I just want the experience letter from their guys and see the studio I would like to work at. That's cool. Where do you want to work at? What's the ideal studio for you? Alright, this is getting there. It's taking time. Unfortunately, this like front piece gets separated off, so that's gonna be kind of fun to figure out. I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna multi-cut that, and then I want to try this. Let's see if this is gonna work. This should actually work. Okay. Basically just give myself some place to cut from. That way I can have this little cuff here, and then I can change this however I need to, because this is going to be a completely different piece. In fact, let's just do that now. That way I don't have to stress about it later. The touch. Separate. Boop. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and mirror this. Okay. So right off the bat, way too freaking wide. Which is good, because it's too wide for my mesh, so that's perfect. Let's see. It is paid, though. Let's see. There are 2 types of work. Product adverts to pay my bills, and second is animation with great storytelling for my inner artist. Well, that's good. I mean, I'm glad you have some options. Hell, at this point, I would do advertisements if I could. Don't think it pays enough, though. Okay, so I don't... Yeah, I don't like that. I actually would much rather just kind of squeeze this. In a tad bit to where it needs to be, which is probably right about there. And I'm gonna go mesh tools. I'm gonna cut this little cap in here. Okay. I don't really know how far this goes, but I will just send it all the way through. Okay. And then we need to change the kind of the way this orients, so it's actually very much like this. Sweet. No, that's not what I want. Give me the wireframe. Thank you. Okay, cool. So, oh, yeah, that didn't work at all. All right. That's gorgeous. Okay. I don't want that sticking out too far. In fact, all of this kind of needs to be capped off right about here. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay. Let's look at this again. Bada-boom. I remember when I did my first ship last year, my entire goal was to make it out of one piece, and I realized that nobody does it that way, and it's just a terrible, terrible idea. And I'm really glad that I learned that lesson. I fought tooth and nail to try to make that out of one single piece, and quickly realized that it wasn't possible. Like, maybe it was if you spent, like, days and days and days doing topology work, but it wasn't gonna work. I'm gonna have to go breakfast and get ready for work. Have fun. Crix, have a good one. Good talking to you, as always. Okay. So this one... Let's see how this closes up. So there lies a little bit of an issue. Is how do I want to seal that? Because I could just do... Huh. JK. Why am I doing this on both sides? bridge. And bridge. Okay, that's better. JLSXT. If I fill hole first, it helps me see the solution easier. Yeah, no, for sure. That's what I was kind of working towards. Finally got it. Okay, so I want to just, again, kind of clean this up a tad bit. And how are you doing, JLSXT? Just want to smooth that a little bit. Okay. Now for this. Just kind of cleaning that up a tad bit. This guy can come in a bit. Okay. Center pivots. Center. Okay. Let's see. Here. Beautiful. All right. Do all that. Sweet. All right, show. Isolate view selected. Okay, cool. It's... Oh, no, it's actually pretty good. Cool. Can you help me, please? I think my mind is broken. I create a simple cube, select all of the faces, and hit delete. Remains one face always. I've never had that happen before. Hey, Gary, what's up? How are you? The object doesn't disappear from outliner. It sounds to me like you may need to reset your Maya. You can try resetting your preferences, but honestly, when I start getting weird stuff like that, I just go through and just uninstall and reinstall. I've had that, I think I've had that happen like once before, but it wasn't on like a default cube. It was on like something that I was like working on. Doing good, man. Helping this guy build his brand, doing some product renders. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. That sounds like a lot of fun. I hope you're enjoying that. Connor, let's see. I've been job hunting the past few days looking for stuff, less expensive parts of the U.S. Living in one of the most expensive parts of California has really skewed my idea of like, yeah. It's kind of wild, man. Like comparing, like even where I live, like comparing it to California, I'm like, what the hell, dude? What's up, Obscura? How are you? All right. So that's good. This needs to be taller, though. And then I need to add 2 little holes, which I think I'll worry about later. I don't want to go into like micro detailing just yet. It's just not time. Okay, so this is gonna be a little funky. But I think this is gonna work correctly. This is where I always get really annoyed with bevels. So we're gonna bevel, chamfer, go away, thank you. Fraction it, and then let's see where it's creating stuff that it shouldn't be. Actually, might be okay. Oh, no, right there. This is why I hate bevels, because if you don't pay attention, you can dramatically screw yourself over. Okay, well, I have run out of that good music, so let's see. Music. How much time we got left? We got about an hour. I'm just gonna play from the default page and we'll see if I find anything I like. Probably won't, but we'll see. Hoi hoi, how are you doing? But you can create a default cube. You want me to, like, create a cube real quick? And... Oh, what? That's... I didn't even snap to that. Why are you deleting it that way? At almost 92 in my class, I'm working on MS stuff. Nice, that's cool. Blindness, is there a reason that you're deleting all of the faces on a cube instead of just deleting the cube? That is kind of a funny glitch. It shouldn't be doing that. Although mine still shows up in my outliner. But yeah, I definitely can't delete it unless, probably unless you know. That just won't go away. Interesting. Oh, no, I can delete it in my outliner. That's kind of weird. Going to look at a bike in the morning. Nice. You gonna get like an e-bike or like just a mountain bike? You hear Microsoft is getting rid of the blue screen of death later in this update? What are they gonna replace it with? Windows crashes too much to not have a blue screen of death. Niraj, hey, how are you? Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know why they would get rid of that. That's a choice. Good old Microsoft changing stuff they don't need to. Okay, hold on. Okay. So this is curved, but it's curved very, very openly. So we're going to do that. That should... Damn, if that isn't like a perfect little piece. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see if that... Okay, so that creates a pinch, and I don't like that. But really, don't necessarily need that. I do need that. But I think what I'm gonna do, we're gonna try this. I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I am pretty okay with that, not gonna lie. Because that gives me the shape that I'm looking for. I've got the sharpness here, and I don't have any pinching. So that's kind of dope. I'm good, how are you? I'm doing good. Doing real good. You working on anything cool tonight, Niraj? Mirror. This song's not bad. I'll give it a star. Let's see. Here, living wage is more than $27 an hour, and that's if you live alone with no dependents. Yeah, that's insane, man. That's rough. Looking at MT-03. Nice, very cool. Can you show me your any model UV, like the pistol? You want to see the pistol UV? So if you guys are ever curious, I don't know if I advertise this much, but you can see all of my UVs on my ArtStation. So the pistol, for instance, this is the UV. So the pistol was 6 UDIMs, or 5 UDIM tiles technically, because I didn't use the 6th. Yeah, and that changes, right? It varies completely because like the pistol was a small asset, but if we look at the tank was something like 32, I think. It was a lot. It was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21, 22, 23. So 23 UDIM tiles. Can you share my Discord ID? No, but if you want to join my Discord, you can. There's a link in my bio. Yeah, so these are UVs for like my more complicated models, and you know it varies. Like the Citapati was a pretty basic one. I think this one was only 5 UDIM tiles. Oh no, this was 6. And it sucks because like I wanted to do more, but I would have had to cut this thing up more to fit everything in like each tile. Like I don't know. I guess I could have scaled it a little bit more, but to keep texel density the same across the entire model, I wanted to keep that as low as possible. So it kind of worked out. But yeah, it varies. But all of those are always available on my art station if you guys are ever curious. Not gonna lie, it kind of looks like a handguard. What, this? This is just one of many pieces. Ow. I'm also realizing that it's way too thick up top. So that's fun. Hey. I'll correct it later. Just a little bit on the half of it. The whole piece looks like a rear fender for a Kawasaki. Oh, I see. I gotcha. Yeah. I'm trying to look at this. So if you guys are curious on what I'm looking at right now here. I'm looking at this piece, and clearly I made it way too freaking thick. This is always something I end up doing, though. So I get to figure out how to thin this out without murdering my model. All right. I don't recommend doing this, by the way. If you can avoid doing stupid stuff like this, then do it. Because this is more than likely going to cause me more problems than it's worth. But I also don't feel like remodeling that piece, so this is where we go. Okay, so this piece. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye now. Okay. It's a tad bit thinner. I think I just need to continue kind of working that in a little bit. Because this actually gets really thin up top. But then it starts to kind of curve down. So this is where we're going to start handing that off. Okay, this is a song choice. Go away. That's not cinematic. I don't know why you're thinking that's cinematic. Let's do this. I've got a specific mood of music that I'm searching for here, so. Epic, yeah. One moment luminance. Blood on ice. The Warrior's Blade? That sounds dope. Try this one. Thank you for the lurk, Obscura. Okay, I'm sorry. I totally, like, spaced over your message. I'm an Argentinian animation student, and UV is the hardest thing so far. UVs are a pain. Nobody likes them. So I guess some people like them. I don't like them. I think they're kind of like the worst thing ever. But they're not too bad once you get used to them. Alright, I'm going to leave a little bit of meat on that because I don't want to, like, really strain it. Okay. Let's fix that because that looks terrible. Granted, this is something that you'll probably never see. I don't know. Part of me really likes to make sure my models don't look like crap on the inside. To some extent, though, it really doesn't matter. Okay. As long as the front looks good, that's what really matters. The part that's actually going to be visible. All right. So now I can take this, move that into place. Just kind of start shaping a little bit here. Cool. That's pretty good so far. Okay, what else we got here? Oh, and friendly reminder, if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you like the stream because it does help quite a bit. Okay. I do just feel like that's longer. Oh. Okay. Maya's doing weird shit, which means it's time to save. Okay. Yeah, I just feel like that's a little bit more matching, I guess. Don't know. I feel like maybe it can still be wide, but it just needs to be taller. Just trying to maintain shape is always a pain with these, so really trying to make sure that I don't mess up the shaping on this. Yes. Oh. Okay, so kind of takes care of that. I need to shape this a little bit before we start working on that. Okay. I still feel like that's just too... Let's see. This is when people ask me, they're like, "Oh yeah, do you know like what's the how you get so good at like figuring out the scale and size of things?" It's literally just trial and error. Like, I wish there was like an easy answer to it, but it's legitimately just trial and error. Alright, so let's look at this. So we don't need that guy. That guy can go. Use this one for kind of some center supporting a little bit. Show. You selected. Once again, just trying to get this to all fit properly. Okay. So this, okay. Cool. This is where I want to be. because I want my stuff to match up in low poly. Okay. Before I even start looking at, like, potentially curving it. Okay. Mute my phone for a second here. It's gonna drive me nuts. Okay. Cool. What do we got? Do you guys enjoy the blockout process? Is that one of your favorite processes, or would you much rather just skip it altogether? Okay. So looking at this, I know my center point. This guy needs to come up. Down a little bit. Let's find some. Could be good, could be bad. Who knows? Okay. This is one of those situations too where, like, I've got these two objects, right? So I will actually turn on my wireframe so I can see what I'm doing here, because I find it's much more helpful to have that available like that. That way I don't have to keep clicking and trying to guess where everything lines up. I can just get things lined up really, really quickly. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be one of those situations now where I drag to right about here. And then same thing here. And then this guy is going to get one right there just for some additional support. And then we get one right down here. Okay, sweet. So I'll just... So I definitely want these touching. I don't want them, like, fully meshing with everything. Just want them hovering right outside, because that's going to give me the best result when it comes to my smoothing. Okay. So if I go and I multi-cut this guy, I'm going to add a second one there and one there. Let's see. How did we do? So turn that off again. So a little bit of an issue here. There's not a lot going on there support-wise, so I need to add it. Unfortunately, that's going to be on both sides, so I'm going to have to mirror that anyway. Okay. So that's pretty good. And if I want to, I can push that gap even closer. So I can just add another edge loop, and then I can take this one and pull it in to kind of close this a bit. That way we have a much sharper kind of manifold. Killjoy, what's up? How are you? Alright, so delete that, delete that. I'm gonna go ahead and mirror this guy. And the same thing here. I don't see any weird pinching or anything going on. Yeah. So it's pretty good so far. Cool. This is coming along. I'm pretty happy with this. Cool. And we'll flesh that out here in a minute. What is the Naboo interceptor? So the Naboo interceptor is a concept art from an artist that I found on ArtStation. And this is what it is. So this is what we're working on. Currently focusing right up in here. And how are you doing, Anamika? Okay. Put that back. I still need that. Okay. Okay. So I think what I'll do, or what I'll end up doing, is probably pulling this panel up to mesh with this a little bit better. We'll see how I handle that. Honestly, might just kind of expand it a bit. But I mean, pretty good so far. We've already modeled all of this stuff. So that's pretty awesome. Pretty happy with that. Michael Odin, Rubik's Revolution model refining is almost done. I'll show on Discord. Nice, very cool. I'm glad that's going well for you. Okay, let's see. The panel for sure thickens back here. Hi, Alome, and the cryptic one. What's up, Mr. Blazing Man over on Twitch? How you doing? Alright, here's what I'm gonna try. I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if I'm gonna like the way this looks either, so. This is purely experimental at this point. But I can tell you so far I don't hate it. That's not what I wanted. Damn, that was already 3 songs? Power of Trial? I'm not even paying attention to these. Facing the Colossus. Ooh, here's a whole album. There we go. Just got home, can finally finish my sandwich. I had banana peppers for the first time, and they're not bad. No, banana peppers are good. You talk about the pickled ones? Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I just add a tad bit of support there. And just pull this in a bit more. There we go. Kind of, it doesn't mesh with that yet, but that part comes later. Control G. Control D. -1. That's not what I wanted. Missed one. Okay. See, that's coming along. I like that. Alright. I think so, yeah, I usually get mustard on my sandwich, but these are a good substitute. Yeah, for sure. I like banana peppers. I don't think I've ever had a fresh one, so I think I've only ever had them pickled, now that I think about it. I always used to get those. I don't know if Papa John's still does it, but Papa John's used to include them in the box. Okay. The next panel isn't technically a panel. They still do? Yeah, those things. those guys. It's gonna be this chunk. Which I don't. Let's see here. Okay. Let's put you down here. Okay. Oh no, that's the side view. I don't need that up there. Okay, so let's look at this. What do you look like? Oh, perfect. It's kind of just a flat piece. Okay, so issue number 1. That. Okay. So this is just a long piece that goes all the way to the front of the ship, but I'm only going to model to this point right here. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to flip our normals on this one. Okay. And view selected. All right, sweet. So I want this to go all the way in here, but it still has to conform to the body type. So let's see. And I need it to actually change shape quite a bit because of that. So let's see what we got to do. Okay. Try to just flatten some of this stuff out. Okay. Let's see. What's the difference between edge flow and edge slide? Edge flow is the actual like flow of your edges on your model, and edge slide is actually going to be a different transform constraint. So you have edge slide and surface slide. Edge slide is going to slide along the edges that are present on the model, and then surface is going to slide across the surface. So the big issue here now is that this, it's a little too much. I'm going to open Blender again here. Yeah, so these, so he did do, hold on. Please just move. Thank you. So there is a piece in here. So if I delete that, yeah, so he did just kind of do a filler piece. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm not worried about that then. This panel needs to be thicker, unfortunately. But that's okay. Okay. The biggest challenge I foresee with this ship, continuously dividing all of these panels into smaller sub-panels. Would probably be the best answer for that. Yeah, because I'm pretty comfortable when it comes to ships at this point. Learned a lot with the tank and the Project 77 ship, which, like, I still look back on that thing with nightmares. It was such a fun, like, project to learn with, but my god, man, like, some of the shapes in that thing. I think that's another big, like, challenge here, is just the overall shaping of this thing's body is going to be kind of a beast to deal with. But we will take it in stride. So I want this to come about midpoint here. This panel's going to have to thicken up too, but that's all right. You have to shape that down a bit. It's all right. Crazy enough, this is still blocking. Do you ever see yourself working on this in ZBrush in a way like Chaos Mason? I don't know. I haven't explored the kind of hard surface modeling in ZBrush yet. I do want to play with it at some point. I have been pushing that off because I don't know. Maybe someday. I don't really know. Isn't the shortcut for slide holding Control Shift? Probably. I'm terrible with shortcuts though. How much time does it take you to make a model? Really depends. I imagine this one will probably be in the 100 hours range, just depending on how long this one actually takes me. But like for instance, the tank took 137 hours. The Project 77 ship took about 140. BD1 took almost like 80. So it varies between each model. And I track all my times on these. Do you know what it takes to be an environment artist in game development company? Can you understand what exactly they need? I don't, unfortunately. I don't really do environment art, so not really my forte. There are some people that I've seen on like Instagram doing it, but I don't know like specific accounts, unfortunately. If anyone else knows any good environment artists that do like game art, that'd be cool. So this panel needs to be thickened up so it just kind of seals this area off. But this is actually coming along. This is coming along pretty well. I'm not mad at this right now. Let's look at this and clean this up because I'm sure it's a mess. Yep, it's a mess. Okay, what the hell? What happened up here? That's terrible. Okay, let's just delete a lot of this and then rebuild it slightly. Yeah, I don't really know what happened there. Something got mashed up. Make a sports car. Suggest me a hard surface model to make. Yeah, sports car. Find a spaceship. Spaceships are always fun, and they're a really good challenge because they have unique shapes to them. Let's see. So you mentioned section on-off panels with your previous projects. Did you follow a game art pipeline while baking them? So I did kind of a weird mix. And I think you can see it on this one. Let me see. So, like, you can see the panel outlines on this one. These were modeled in. Everything else was textured in. This was also just a horrible jump into it. Like, this was my first jump back into 3D, and it was not a good idea. I would even so much as say I will probably remodel this someday. But so basically, this was the model itself. Most of these panels were modeled in, but they weren't separate. And this is where I kind of screwed myself, because one of the things that I always was told is that, you know, everything needs to be one piece, when the reality is it doesn't. Most of it will just get lodged together, and then it actually helps along the line of having separate pieces, especially if you plan on blowing the asset up, doing anything with that. So this was all one piece for the body portion, which was awful. It's also why I don't think I posted a wireframe for this one, because I am not proud of this wireframe at all. Love the final result. Hate the wireframe. But yeah, so this was kind of a hybrid, right? So like I baked in these paneling details. These were all just like textured in, but everything else was just, yeah, flat models. And the tank was a little bit different. The tank, most of this was modeled in, minus some of these little sub panels. That's why on this project I'm trying to model every single panel in, because there was, what's his name? I wonder if I could find it. Let's see if I can find it real quick. No, that's not going to help anything. Who was the guy? It was Andrew, but I don't know if he got tagged in it. Yeah, he didn't. It doesn't show up in here, unfortunately. He had a student do a project that I really loved, and it really kind of like changed the way I thought of my hard surface assets. So I tend to follow Andrew's kind of workflow here. He does live streaming. If you guys ever catch Andrew live, really good person to learn from. Yes. Yeah, I can't remember his student's name, but his student did a really cool ship, and I don't remember what it was. I might have liked it. Let me see. Let me see if I saved it somewhere. Dude, I'm so bad at getting through ArtStation. My wish list, my collections. No, that's my connections. I need collections. There it is. I think it was a like. I'm pretty sure it was. Maybe I didn't like it. I thought I did. Anyway, it was a super awesome ship. It was really well done. Yeah, I don't see it in here. I'd have to find it again. The guy did an amazing job. But yeah, so that's the goal with this one. I'm trying to bake as little information down as possible. I want to handle most of it via texture or via modeling. I don't like that. This music was clearly inspired by Tron. Which I'm not mad about. The guy works good, one of my best students. I see some of his mentee works on LinkedIn, pretty cool stuff. Yeah, they do really good stuff. If I had the cash flow to do an internship with him, I probably would. Or a mentorship, anyway. But I'm fairly certain he's expensive. Which is good. He deserves to be. But thankfully he live streams, and he's always really good about answering questions and stuff. I just haven't seen him live in a long time. Which is funny, because he's the one that found me on Twitch. He was like, he jumped into my stream one day and was like giving me advice. I'm like, who are you? And I looked up his profile. I was like, oh my god. Which country am I from? I'm from the United States. Okay. So, let's see here. I know I just mirrored that, but that's actually not what I wanted to do. I need to fix this edge flow first. Have you tried Maya 2026, the new feature auto animation? It's really good. I haven't yet. I was actually looking at installing it yesterday. I just didn't get around to doing it. But I do want to play with it at some point. I don't know. 2025 is finally stable and I don't want to mess it up. So I'm like, ooh, I don't know. I don't know if I want to take the risk. But I am interested to play with some of the new tools that are in it. Because it's got some really neat stuff going. Okay. That should be pretty solid. I think I can get away with just multi-cutting most of this. Because it doesn't actually really need... Hold on. It's also been a hot minute since I've saved, so I'm going to do that in a second here. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Blackman. Gamble Matt's mortal soul. Now that it's come into the market, is it causing any problem in your work? Because it's causing problems for me. I'm not getting any work anywhere. Wait a minute. Hold on. Now that it has come into the market, what are you, I'm not sure what you're asking, Drova. Are you talking about something specifically? Priyanshu, can you check my Insta and tell me about my model and renders and how I can improve? You can request that in my Discord. You can bevel it. No, I know I can. I don't need to on that object, though. I had to make it official. Good. I'm glad you did that. Okay. Let's look at this panel now. Okay. Okay, mesh, mirror. Okay, that's slightly not centered. Ooh, that's very not centered, actually. Okay. It's better. All right. That's coming along pretty well. I'm actually really not mad about that at all. What I am going to do, though, is squish that in a little bit. Same with this one. Okay. Damn, that's looking pretty clean. Were you designing stuff in school or self-taught? So I started 3D in high school, and so I've been doing it ever since. I did go to college, but I honestly do not remember a damn thing I learned in college, so most of what I do now is self-taught. All of my current stuff that you can see on like my ArtStation or my Instagram, that was all self-taught. Oh wait, is this... What is this? Play it. Screw it. Let's see. Might be good. Who knows? But yeah, it's completely possible to do this yourself and like teach yourself this stuff. Definitely helps going to school or having a mentor, but depends on if you can swing that kind of money. Okay. The top of this is coming out pretty nice. I do take an issue with this panel, though. And some of the shaping. I'm going to have to redo some of the shaping on this, but that's okay. This is just a rough out. Off to bed. Have a good one. Sharky, have a good night, man. On what platforms do you stream? I stream YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. Well, honestly, this is kind of a good place to stop, because I'm right at time anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and freeze all this junk. File, incremental save, file, save scene as. Okay, I always tend to do a backup too. Export selection. That's fine. Close. Cool. Save scene. All right, cool. So that's good to go. All right, guys, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. It's been a wonderful night. I have enjoyed having conversations with all of you. I will be live again, not on Friday, probably Thursday, since Friday's 4th of July. Next is national TV. Hey, you never know. Yeah, so I'll be live again probably Thursday. I'll just do a Thursday stream since I don't really do those anymore. And then, yeah, so you guys have a wonderful week. I hope you all stay safe and have some good projects you're working on. And I will see you all live on Thursday. So Instagram, have a good night, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Who just did that? Mr. Blazing Man. All right. Oh, and by the way, everyone who's on Twitch and YouTube, when you subscribe to the channel now, you do get your name in the credits of my videos. So the second video that I've done that with went live today. So if you're a subscriber on one of those platforms, your name is in the end of the video. So as a way to like thank you guys for supporting me. So I'm a star. You're a star. All right, YouTube, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate you as always. I will talk to you all soon. See you later.